Seacrest out. We're like Ryan Seacrest is back. We told you last week, Jack broke the news or told us about the news. Pat Sajak done with his incredible run on Wheel of Fortune. So they go out and get Ryan Seacrest. So my question to you, and Brendan, welcome back. Yes, good to have you, brother. And so what do you know? Only old people watch this, right? So it's like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. But when that generation eventually passes on, like what is it? The next generation's rite of passage to be old, and it's like, well, it's about time I start binging Wheel of Fortune still.
Well, maybe that's why they got Ryan Seacrest. Like, I remember Ryan Seacrest as the American Idol guy when I was a kid. So maybe once this old generation passes, we'll have Ryan Seacrest reeling us into the show, so like a familiar face for the younger crowd.
Right. I mean, is this going to do numbers? I imagine like his first show is going to be crazy, and it had to be similar to when Drew Carey took over for Bob Barker. Yeah, it's just crazy. What's also shocking is Vanna White, right? She's doing all the letters on the big board, has not had a raise in 18 years.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
I wonder if she has to get sponsorship deals or something.
And the question's got to be, what's her current contract? Because maybe that's why. Maybe she's already got the bag.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. Right. Like, was she asking for it? I don't know. Maybe she thought she had the greatest gig in the world. I just read an article today where it's like Travis Kelce knows he's underpaid, right? As the, do it all for the Chiefs, but he's just kind of like, he likes winning. I don't know. He likes coming to work every day, even though his agent's like, hey, if you went somewhere else, you could probably get, more than what you're worth. But also Vanna White's probably thinking like, hey, if I make too much noise or something, couldn't they get someone else to walk and hit a number?
Dude, hold up. Let's just.
Vanna White's not leaving, is she?
Let's just give her
She's
flowers.
about to get rizzed by Seacrest. Yeah.
I was trying to find her.
What's her annual salary? Yeah, here we go.
Maybe
I wouldn't ask for a raise either. Okay, 10 mil.
If that's accurate, who knows?
She's asking for 10% every year. Yeah. All right, come on, let's keep this coming up. Well, I had to imagine like they probably had to pay a pretty damn penny for Seacrest to get.
I'd be interested to see what his salary is.
I'm looking it up. So it's Seacrest now on.
I saw nothing reported. I imagine it'll come out later, but that's what do we got here?
AS.com. Who knows what that is? But a couple places are saying somewhere in the 20 million range, 20 to 30 million somewhere.
Oh, that's half of what Aiden Ross is making, or XQC now. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Wait, let's all get into better entertainment or something, because these people, there's a lot of people just getting the bag lately.
That's what I'm saying, dude. There's money being spilled. Like this. Elon versus Zuck. First of all, how did Zuckerberg all of a sudden get his best? All of a sudden got a cold nickname, Zuck. It makes him sound like way more of an MMA, jiu-jitsu artist, which apparently he is. So Elon again is just dicking around on his favorite app, Twitter, which he owns, and he just challenges Zuck to a cage fight, or he responds to some guy on Twitter, and Zuck is apparently down. That the first person you call up, Dana White. And all of a sudden, this is in motion. One, is it going to be fixed? Two, are you going to pay money to see this? Because I feel like this would shatter records, right?
Yeah, I think so. I also think Zuckerberg would definitely kick his ass.
I don't know. Like, Brendan, it's like, because that's just two different weight classes, right? I feel like Elon could just lay on him, and that would be tough.
I feel like Elon's so out of shape. Like, you see remember those pictures that went viral when he was like on that boat, and there's just no way he can move quick whatsoever. And Zuck's pretty in shape. I mean, he's shared videos or pictures of himself doing that Murph or whatever. He trains MMA. Even though I think he's a weirder guy, I think he beats Elon in a fight.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the parameters would be. It has to be in a cage. I think that was the number one. It's got to be cage. I hope there's like old school WWE. You've got utensils you can use like ladders, but probably not. It's just funny that these two guys are just like Elon doesn't give a fuck. Zuckerberg's just like, hey, you know what? Because it's if one loses, what, they're still rich. It's not like they're both coming out of their comfort zone to do something to really just put on fun for people. It's like for our entertainment strictly. That's just bragging rights.
Yeah, I feel like they both really technically only have something to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if they win, even if the pot's $300 million or something, like, does that really?
And like charity, or they'll probably give it to charity or some shit too.
Yeah.
Winner gets Bezos though, right?
Yeah.
Dude,
Jake Paul tried to start celebrity boxing. Now it's like, screw that. Let's just get rich. I want to see Steve Cohen in the ring. Let's just get Wall Street fighting.
I think the winner of this Zuck versus Elon fight should just get the other person's company.
Yeah.
And just get to be CEO for a month or something.
Yeah. Or he has to be janitor. He has to clean the bathrooms of Meta if he loses.
That would be actually really funny to just have like one of them post on their thing, like, check out this loser today.
Like this dude's about to get fired.
All right, real quick.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, 6'1" Elon Musk, like 85 kilograms. I'm sorry guys, I don't know that conversion that quick, but compared to Zuckerberg 5'7" less than 70 kilograms is what this says.
Bro, you got Google and the metric system over there, Alex. What's that? No, I had both those guys. I thought Elon was taller. I thought Zuck was way taller. Yeah.
I also, age is a big thing because I think Elon's like 15 years older-ish.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Happy birthday, Elon.
The conversion, 81 kilograms is equivalent to about 179 pounds.
So that was Elon.
Yeah, so 180.
I think that's a lie.
Maybe that's on a cut day, because I was gonna say I'm 185 on a good day after I hop on the treadmill.
Who did he pay to publish that?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's like a varsity roster in high school when I'm 6 foot.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Bezos, he's actually the one who's like looking like he's injecting HGH and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if it was an arm wrestling contest, I think I'm taking Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay. Short and sweet as we are getting back here in the swing of things here with Wingin It. Brendan, 75 hard. Do you have any update just kind of for the people? Short brief of what it is for those who don't know how it went and post after it.
Yeah, so I recently did the 75 hard. If you don't know what it is it's kind of it's a fitness challenge, I would say. Basically for 75 days straight, you have to work out twice a day. One of the workouts has to be outside. Each of them have to be at least 45 minutes long. You have to drink a gallon of water every day. You have to read 10 pages of a book every day. You have to stick to a diet, and you have to take a picture of yourself every day. And lastly, you cannot drink any alcohol for all 75 days. The first 3 weeks was definitely really rough. I would say the hardest part for me was not drinking alcohol, just, seeing all my friends do fun things on social media and kind of having to sit that out. But I got to the point where I just kind of learned to, go out with them and just not drink. I wouldn't stay out quite as late, but I ended up loving the challenge. I saw more of a mental benefit than I did physical benefit. I mean, I did definitely see physical benefits, but mentally just had so much energy, every day. Didn't have to, feel the need to sleep in all the time. Really helped with my anxiety. All in all, it was a really awesome experience that I'll definitely do again in the future.
I don't think I have the mental fortitude to do that. And applause to you, because you not only stuck with it, but like you said, you would go out and drink club soda, which is like, it's not only one thing, you were watching people there while you were at home. And it was like, all right, I'm going to be there with them around alcohol. I could quit this challenge whenever. And you did it. So major kudos. The book is interesting to me. Like, so the diet, what was your diet? Was that hard? Like, what was the hardest part, you think?
So the hardest part, other than not drinking for 75 days, was probably the 2 workouts every day, just because there's certain days where you're just super busy, whether you got to drive to the office and sit in traffic and, you're not getting home till super late and, you still got to do a fucking workout afterwards. Just finding the time for it. The diet. So For 75 hard, there's not like a specific diet you have to stick to. Instead, it's you create your own diet
So
and
you just ate healthier,
you
right?
stick to that. Yeah. So um, I was honestly, when it came to the diet, pretty lenient with things, maybe not as strict as other people were. So that part wasn't too difficult for me. But I mean, I just made it my goal, whenever I could, just eat healthy. I try to just eat really protein rich foods and fruits and
Yeah.
vegetables, things of that nature.
Hey, that's good stuff. I mean, it's technological advances like that that are helping people live longer, which leads us into our next segment. The U.S. median age is 39 now. I think it came out, which was, it's like, okay, that's one thing, but it's there's a discrepancy from what it was in 1980, which was 30. Health advances, living longer, less cigarettes, in your daily thing, I think helps to that. But it's crazy too. Clay Travis, of course, is, everyone's trying to run with this where it's like, I think I saw a stat where it's like 25% of 40-year-olds have not been married or something. And it's like, okay, there's a lot. That's just a blatant stat, but it's basically like we've heard Elon talk about the population decrease that's coming. People are having less and less kids. Look at Dave Portnoy, right? He's 46, but then there's people like Nick Cannon and freaking Al Pacino, NBA Youngboy, yeah. But it's like, and God, I don't know. It's during Pride Month too, and I don't want to turn this into a whole thing, but it's like, okay, there's less reproduction going there right now. It's like, so is that an added factor too? Totally nothing political on that same, but it's just like, wouldn't that also be a factor too? Because they're not reproducing, right? Well, I guess there's the whole conversation of some people can, but I don't know. And again, because we'll talk about climate change, is like, so maybe less people's helping that, but then it could hurt us in different ways.
Yeah, I mean, be interested to hear like data scientists' reasoning for it. If I had to guess,
people smarter than us.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I would just say, just living in general has just increased, like how expensive it is. Like, it's so much harder to buy a house now than it was for our parents.
Yes.
And, typically, if you're going to have kids, you want to, have a home or a house established. At least I would. So I think I would contribute it more to younger people not having kids as opposed to people living longer. Even though people are living longer than they used to, I would say it's more of younger people not having children.
And COVID disrupted a shit ton too. It's felt like everyone's life was put on pause for 1, 2, even upwards of 3 years. Yeah, no, and we were talking about BlackRock, where it's like, they bought up almost like so much real estate during the pandemic, and they're trying to turn the U.S. into just a renter's nation. Yeah, no, that's a great point. Because it's like, hey, you want to do the thing, right? That's, what we were told, like, hey, college. And that's the other thing is like, it was almost like the construct was set for us by generations before, and now millennials, you're seeing it even more with Gen Z. We're just kind of busting up the construct. And a lot of people are, I don't know, that makes old people, it's the Simpsons always predict everything. That episode where the old people revolt against everyone else, it was just like, no one could get along, I guess. But 39 is our median age. And things are about to get even more fucked because public schools in Newark, New Jersey are testing AI tutors. Teachers are gone. Teachers are next. If you're teaching, okay, the tutors is, you sit in front and, it's just an AI talking to you. They're going to make it more and more better. That's the next thing we're going to have to overcome.
So, I could see, here's the thing, like younger children, elementary school, they need a physical human there to I feel like keep them under control and
nurture. It's the nurture part.
Those kids are wild, just make sure there's a human there who can, reprimand them or something. But like college professors, dealing with more mature people who don't need that, level there. I can see
it was already online classes. This is like the next step up.
Yeah.
Which makes you think too, when it was like schools got shut down for COVID, like, kindergartners just didn't have that, that daily interaction with other kids, with young teachers, nurturing them, as you said, Alex. And like, I'm just waiting. You're already seeing that in reading scores and all that shit, but it's like, I'm just wondering personality wise how hard that's going to hurt. Whatever. I think that's an unnamed generation, right? What's after Gen Z? Has it not even been clarified yet?
I don't think so. I mean, you can. There's speculation always, but once we're like 10 years past, we'll all look back and be like, oh
Right.
yeah, that's the. But it's like, now here's a good question. How many years captures like that COVID generation in your opinion? Like 5?
No, right. Did it get lapped over? Because Jack, our resident Gen Z, but he claims he's a millennial. He's that guy on the on the fringe, right? Where I guess his age would put him in Gen Z, but he's pretty much technically a millennial. I didn't get like who screwed over the silent generation. Like, was that generation just so fucking lame that people are just like, you know what, silent generation probably labels them.
I have heard like in employee like recruiting and stuff, it's gotten harder to like socialize with some recruits because the world shut down and they went and learned from a computer, not in person.
And my brother he's a guy who wants to go into the office, and he really struggled with like, hey, forced to do remote work, which is basically, I mean, a lot of companies, I know someone who does fully remote, a lot of people are doing that, which I would have no problem with, but I could see people.
I like having a place to go to work for sure.
I don't even like seeing my neighbors. So I'm like, hey, get the hell away from me. But I love all of you here, of course. Yeah. All right. Well, last thing for me, and then we'll get to substitute tea with Brendan D. Get you out of here. Hope everyone's enjoying their summer. Actually, speaking of summer, last thing we have to get to. How about the heat wave in the South? Are you guys still feeling that, Brendan, down in Dallas? Missouri's always feeling that, but Alex, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's real fucking hot here the past so. I mean, it's tough. You don't even want to go outside unless it's to a pool.
Dude, and I always say is Miami underwater yet? No, it's only going to get worse. Like it's just going to be hotter and hotter. And like, I'm starting to have to get used to this in Minnesota. Started seeing something in South Dakota, air quality alerts. That I think that's just going to fill the rest of summer. Like it's been the last 3 days here. I'm like, what the, I'm like, can I go mow? But that's just going to be how it is. You're just going to have to check the weather for a shit. Is there smoke in the air today? No. Okay, great. Let's do something. Oh yeah. For the next 3 days. Great. It's just going to be more and more common.
We had woke up this morning. Today and tomorrow is definitely the hottest days of the year for like Missouri and like humidity. But it looked like it was like foggy this morning.
Yeah.
But it was smoky at the same time. It wasn't like
filmy haze. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. And everyone was like talking about just like, is this fires from Canada? I was like, I don't know, because like we're supposed to be getting the heat from Texas coming up. So I'm like,
you guys are about to get, fucking sandwiched. Because I think it is a little bit like, certainly we got it, Chicago, and I think it dipped down.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, as part of my tea that like yesterday, Chicago had the worst air quality in the world from those Canada wildfires. Yeah.
And we talked about like once it hits NYC, people start to wake up. Like those photos we saw out of NYC, like holy crap. Or it's like now Chicago's getting to deal with it. Yeah. And already city pollution. And then on top of that, it's like Jesus.
The city pollution.
I was talking to Cam Collier, who lives in Chicago, and he said that he tried to go out. He works in office. He tried to go out, leave the office, go to a restaurant for his lunch break, and he stepped outside and he couldn't stop coughing.
Yeah.
Had to just order Uber Eats.
I mean, it's like you're at a constant bonfire. Like I think with the worst I had here was it was bad.
Yeah.
Is this bad? What's the word on this? I can't escape the clips on TikTok. Maybe Brennan, you can enlighten us. The YNW Melly case.
I've seen some of it. I mean, what about
the latest? I think he's on trial for double murder, and like the memes coming out of it are just, he's like, he discovered an op in court. He's like talking to his lawyers, like, who is this guy? And then this guy testifies against him, pulls up in a legit ski mask, right, to hide his identity. First of all, was that the most see-through ski mask I've ever seen in my life? I see this guy's entire facial features. But then he was forced to remove it.
It was like
And
an
I'm like,
undercover cop, right?
yeah. So an
Yeah.
undercover cop, but then like there's a video of YNW Melly's face when like it happens, and he's just like, try not to laugh, challenge 1,000. He was so
Yeah.
close. He knew he was.
Speaking of TikToks, these goddamn grimace shake TikToks
Oh
have
God.
had me on the floor. I think it's so dumb, but it's still
What?
funny.
I'm not
Have
on
you
TikTok.
have you seen these grimace shake? Do you know what the grimace shake is, Bersic?
I'm not hip, I guess.
It's
No.
it's a new McDonald's milkshake,
Okay. Okay.
like purple for their grimace character.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Okay, I'm with you. I'm
But
with you. I've seen it.
yeah, there's this trend on TikTok where people drink them and then they just reenact like that it puts them in like a horror movie and they've been murdered. You can't even explain it. Like
It's
just
because
search-
like Grimace is like, it's funny to think of like the Ronald McDonald family, and Grimace is like, the treacherous one, or like the one nobody
Yeah.
fucks with, the one where bad shit happens.
yeah.
No, he is. He is. That's
Yeah.
always like, what's that sketchy one up to?
Dude, trends have me weak, and they're here and they're gone so fast. I mean,
No.
again,
But you bring up a good point that nowadays trends just come and go so quickly.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. It's wild.
Someone said the Harlem Shake on something the other day, and I was just like, oh my god, that
Tide
wasn't
Pod
that long
challenge.
ago.
Yeah.
I feel like we were talking about Sleepy Chicken a month ago. Yeah. All right, substitute tea with Brendan Dean, and we'll get us out of here.
Yeah, I mean, we already covered most of it. I mean, I wanted to talk about the air quality in Chicago. You brought up the Elon Musk thing.
Hold on Elon. On
What
the
was
Elon, I was just gonna add to the Elon thing, unless you're about to.
No, go for it. I was
I just came across Andrew Tate's offered to train Elon for the fight. Did we already say that? Or
No. If he's not going to be in prison.
that's what I like.
Right.
He's video chatting him. He's like, no. Like, you got a right hook here.
Just have an AI teach him how to fight.
That's
Yeah,
probably,
that's the other
dude.
thing.
Elon might plug himself into like he's gonna be out.
The fight's in the metaverse. Zuck has it in his contract.
That would be super cool, actually. I could definitely see them doing that.
We're all sitting courtside.
They're gonna learn. You want to know how to monetize something? Watch how they monetize this event.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. No kidding. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how this plays out. I could definitely see it being on some sort of crazy media platform.
So it looks like you got everything, or did you have something else?
No, so the one last thing, I don't know. I also wasn't on the last episode, but the whole thing with Zion going on.
Yeah.
The OnlyFans, or I don't know if she was like an OnlyFans star or a porn star, but she shared, I think it was today or yesterday, a positive pregnancy test.
Oh my god!
To the fact that he got her pregnant. So
at first it was funny, where it was like, she tweeted like 1,000 times. She's describing Zion in ways that should not have made public. I found it fascinating where she's talking about him literally like sneaking Oreos in the bathroom or some shit.
Yeah, like that. That's sad.
And he's just we're trying to get to the bottom of this with Verde. Like, he's flying out 4 different people to New Orleans for the a game to watch him sit on the bench and probably sneak Oreos. But then Mariah Mills just seems a little bit too crazy now. I don't know.
I think she's definitely milking this for clout for sure.
Oh yeah. She's tweeted more than games Zion has played in his career, like even from youth.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. Last thing I had on Twitter was, I'm still using it for news, but like Jack brought up the point where he's like, Twitter, and he tweeted this. He's like, Twitter feels off.
Yeah.
Have you kind of noticed that, Brennan? Like, I notice the ads all the time. Like, I'm just like, you're trying to scroll, see shit after it's ads.
And for me, they also, and this has both pros and cons to it, but I don't even remember how recently this happened, but Twitter, your homepage isn't, people you follow anymore, really. It's more of just like a For You page like TikTok is. They just, even if you don't follow someone, they're going to pick and choose that you see the tweet.
It's been worse on Instagram, where at least Twitter, it's like I'll see different fucking, sports guy I follow with, funny shit. Yeah. Now I'm just getting random memes on Instagram where I'm like, holy shit, can I and there's not even an option. Like Twitter, they at least have For You following, like TikTok. But Instagram's like,
dude, Instagram's gotten bad. Like, so I put it down in like 2, 3, like, you scroll and like I'm done.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, this will take, this will get me through my my shizer of the day, and then I'm out of it. I'm like, dude, what the fuck am I following now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
But I think the key to Twitter and why I think Elon, and it's brilliant because, you mentioned watch how they monetize the fight. I mean, he's monetized the shit out of Twitter. I'm seeing more and more blue checks. And I was talking about, like, I don't see the actual benefit of getting a blue check, but now I'm starting to realize, like, okay, maybe I might pay the $7 if it means less ads.
Right.
And that might be the only thing so far. But he's
Yeah.
changing other stuff where it's like I'm trying to pin something to my profile, and he's like, "How about you highlight it by subscribing?" I'm like, "What the fuck does that even mean?"
Yeah, there's so much shit going on. I don't even know anymore with it.
Yeah, well, we're parsing through it for you, the viewer listener. Good to get Brendan back. We will be back for you guys next week, and we'll talk to you then.